And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They'll come out in the pistol. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He's got time. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And incomplete. Time to feature the offensive starters, and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield. Here's New England defensively. Last year, the #1 overall defense as far as points given up goes. And they've got a lot coming back in 2017.
Now, they certainly do. And let's go back to the Super Bowl. Trey Flowers, who was their leading sack guy in 2016, he had 7 in the regular season. He was a monster in the Super Bowl against Atlanta. He's back there for them. How about Dante Hightower at linebacker? His first Pro Bowl in 2016, and then just moving on back to the secondary. Devin McCourty, the guy who quarterbacks him back as safety, he's been to the Pro Bowl as a corner and as a free safety.
This is brought in at the 21. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Patriots take over. First carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and LeGarrette Blount, the featured back.
The big knock on him coming out of college was his lack of speed, but it's definitely not his lack of power. He runs right through opposing tacklers and sets things up big for his offense. And LeGarrette Blount just does not go down easy. You know, from my experience as a defensive back, this was a difficult guy to try and tackle because of the force that he runs with, and he's not going to be daunted no matter it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter, Brandon.
Well, what shocks me about last year, 18 touchdowns. I mean, the yards were pretty good, 1161. But when I think of New England, I don't think of a running back getting 18 touchdowns.
You know, that to me, it was the combo that made the 2016 season for him. Most yards in his career, most touchdowns in his career by far. And he's the type of guy that, hey, you want to give it to me inside the 5? He doesn't believe anyone's going to stop him. On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They find some open field here. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20.
I know it's all smiles on the offensive side of the ball right now, but you and I both know the entire mindset was just pick up the 1st down. What do you call that? One of those gravy pills?
Gravy, absolutely. They got more than they bargained for.
Love the way it turned out for them. Couldn't imagine going into the play that they thought this would be the end result.
Yeah, the defense got to be shaking their head, though. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And let's run through the Dolphins defense.
Mario Williams broke into the league as a star defensive end. Now he's wreaking havoc as an outside linebacker.
They'll run again with Blount. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. And that is incomplete. Gronkowski, the intended target. And it's 4th and 4.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
Well, it's a night game, a lot of energy in this building, but the visiting team here, they get the ball in the opening drive, and they find a way to at least produce 3.
And things are just getting started, so you can't say that they've taken the momentum totally, but a good start towards seizing it in this game.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On first down, Tannehill. And over the middle, this is Parker. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Another pistol look here. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
For someone who piled up the yardage that Jay Ajayi did in 2016, I think it was a strange type of a year. How many runners do you know that will end a season with more 200-yard games on the ground than 100-yard games and end up over 1,000?
Very, very strange. 3 200-yard games, just 1 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see a season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow. I think the future's really bright for Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins next season.
Tannehill now to give to Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And Landry just snuck into the top 10 this year in receiving yardage, 1,136, finishing the year with 94 catches.
And what makes him super dangerous is his ability to convert from being a wide receiver to a running back after making the catch. Because I've talked with a number of defensive backs in the NFL, and all of them, independent of each other, say the exact same thing. Tackling him in the open field is difficult, and he leaves an impact when you do actually bring him down.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They come out here in the I. Going with their tight end on 4th. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions. And, boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the Combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Again, it's Lewis. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open, Gronkowski. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Gronkowski may have had to miss the Super Bowl with the injury, but he was active in that parade, and now he's back on the field. And I'll tell you what, something you mentioned to me is that he was a big cheerleader for his teammates, never hung his head through the injury, celebrated with them all the way through the title.
We've seen superstars in the past, when their team does well without them, they're happy, but they recede into the background. Right? They get out of the way because it does hurt them a little bit. They do have pride. They want to feel like, hey, without me, they may take a little bit of a step back. But with Gronk, you never saw that. You saw him with him every step of the way, cheering his team on, happy for their success. They went 11-0 without him in 2016, but I know this, they don't want to try it again.
No,
they want the big fella back.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On play action, it's Brady. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Down the numbers. There he goes. 30. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins